Hello, Mama Australia. It's exactly 10 years ago when we joined to form a partnership which has resulted into many things. This partnership is considered very significant by us as Sishemo Foundation. In the last 10 years, from the time we connected and became friends, a lot of things have happened. And I think in this partnership, we saw the support on the resource center, which has been a great project because that resource center still stands today and facilitates studies for many of our children.
The Mama Resource Center has helped me in many ways, like studying, reading, knowing new words, and how to speak English.
The Mama Resource Center has helped me in many things like reading skills, spellings, and writing.
The Resource Center has made me a better person, and I now know how to read and write because of the Resource Center.
It has helped me a lot. Before I came at this school, I never knew how to speak proper English and understand this clearly. But when I came and they introduced me at Mama Resource Center, and when I entered in, I was scared, but I knew that I can make it. Then I started reading a lot of books, but now I can speak proper English and I can spell.
Being in the library and watching the kids read the books and interact with the books, I've noticed that most of them, or even all of them, have the capacity to read on their own. So you find that even just their language towards each other has changed. Their grammar skills and writing skills have improved because we just don't have books, but then we have materials that actually help you go through certain words specifically. Like if you are not sure or certain of how to pronounce some words, we have materials that help you do that.
There are many successes that we've scored as a foundation, and we celebrate the fact that we can be able to join with like-minded partners like Mama. This friendship for us is important because Mama and Sishemo, they are of like mind. The focus of Sishemo is to be able to create empowered communities, and we touch the vulnerable. We have seen that Mama has similar interests, and because of that, we celebrate the fact that we can come together and form this partnership that leads to the development of our children.
Actually holding my first book at this school opened up my mind to a whole new world. Getting to see reading texts written by various people from all around the world, getting an insight into their psyche, seeing their worldview and their like, and seeing how they use different techniques to express what it is they saw. It actually instilled inside of me the desire to want to read more and expand more in terms of my knowledge on certain topics, whether it was science or math or even just like a fictional story and the like. Seeing how they would use different words and how they would use different techniques to create this fictitious world that was born inside of the author's imagination. All of that was amazing because it wasn't really something that I grew up with or knew. So actually the Resource Center basically opened my mind to greater things. It exposed me to other places, learning about different cultures, different beliefs, getting to know how people live and exist. All of that, it was great. It really had a great impact, and it actually helped prepare me for the future. Because like now I'll be going off to university and actually instilling that discipline, that desire to want to read and study and to learn more, actually set the foundation for me to actually build on now. And all of that wouldn't have been possible if Mama did not come and actually bring a resource center.
When the resource center was brought at Sishemo Academy, I used to go to the resource center almost every day. Every other day I used to go there to read books like Peter and Jane. There used to be one girl from my class who used to always pass number one. And for me, that was my target. I always wanted to be like her. So one day I went to her and I asked her how she used to pass number one, how she was good at spellings. Then she told me she used to read books and she used to practice writing a lot. And that for me really helped me have this drive to read and write. It helped me develop writing skills and good spelling because those days spellings were very difficult for me, and also how to relate to people, like how to talk. I never used to know how to talk because I never really knew how to speak good English. So that for me that's really brought me down. And when this resource center was opened, I was confident enough to speak because I could read easy to read books.
The resource center had a great impact for me personally. I would say I wouldn't have that drive to read on my own. Yes, I was quite young, but I wouldn't see myself as one who would sit down, read even anything that's not educational. But after the opening of the resource center, it's like there was a deep desire that was embedded inside of me to start reading, to start growing my vocabulary. And I would say that contributed much to my great results in grade 12. I think it's the same for every other individual, because I would point at everyone who was in my intake, for example. Everybody did extremely well in grade 7, and I think that the bedrock of that was the resource center, because every exam written here is in English, and that was something we didn't have access to as much before the resource center was open. It had a great impact on the school, firstly because every pupil around, even one who's not at Northgate or who was not at Northgate, wanted to go to that school because they've seen a resource center, because they've seen books, because they've seen all these things, they've seen computers, they've seen that a child can have access to such things. Also, I remember Joshua Kapilia, who put the school on a high ranking in terms of the nation, and I think that the resource center played a great role in putting the school on the map and bringing the school and making the school known around, as well as making parents see something that they would find that they can't find anywhere else, and bringing their children here.
Would like to thank Mama for the support. I know we've been talking very often on email, and there's been some exchange of thoughts and talks, and this is something that we do value. As long as the lines are open and we can talk about various things and how we are impacting societies, that is important to us. We are hoping that this friendship extends even to other bigger things beyond the resource center that we have received, which we have kept and guarded jealously because of the results that it is producing. So a number of our children are doing very well. They spend good time in the resource center, researching, getting books.
We have had 100% pass rate from the grade 7s that have left the school so far, and that's because the foundation has been laid so well. So even when they go to junior secondary level, they are able to write, they're also able to speak confidently and well because they are sure of the foundation that has been laid.
My performance in grade 12 was actually good, and it all had to do with just reading, studying, wanting to be the best. People tend to underestimate the power of reading. They think reading is only for special people, like you are only born with these desires. I wasn't. I actually didn't know that in order to succeed in life, I had to acquire and attain knowledge, be it in whatever field or just anything in life. I did not realize at the time that by opening different books, I was actually attaining knowledge. I was actually accumulating knowledge and developing a knack for reading, and that wouldn't have helped me succeed in my academics, because in order to make it in academics, you have to be an avid reader.
Where ignorance is manifested, there is poverty. And so half the time we don't know the source of poverty in third world nations. It's because of ignorance. I would advise every pupil around, every pupil at Northgate to strive to read harder, to have a deep desire to learn new things, because without learning new things, there can be impact, there can be change. But it starts with a desire that is embedded inside of everyone. So a deep desire to read, and closing our ears to external voices that will tell us that reading is boring or reading is for those who are backward. Reading is actually what makes people go forward.
On a day like this one, when we are celebrating 10 years, it's good to come with a heart of gratitude and say thank you for the friendship, thank you for what you have done.
I'd like to thank the Mama Resource team for giving Northgate Academy such an opportunity, and giving beyond Northgate Academy other people who are able to access this knowledge.
Firstly, I want to thank them for the investment that they made in my education and also in the education of many other students. What I'd like to say is keep up the good work, continue inspiring students. It may not be the biggest donation, it may not be as big as they may want it to be, but it starts with the small things. So you never know how the amount of impact you have on students. So I just say keep up the good work, continue.
I can only say thank you to them, because if the resource center wasn't opened, I wouldn't know how to read and write. I wouldn't have made it to university.
My gratitude can't be expressed in words, but I'll try. I think that I am so grateful, firstly, personally, for what Mama has done for the school and for the nation and for the world, because I know that from Northgate will spring leaders of not just the country, not just the school, but of the nation. I would like to say thank you as well on behalf of the school, on behalf of those who are in my intake, on behalf of everybody who's yet to learn from this institution. And I would like to say thank you for the care, because we've not only received from that care, we've learned how to care through that as well. We are so grateful. Most exams we write in Zambia are written in English, and for me, having the resource center built a very solid foundation in terms of my vocabulary, in terms of my writing skills, my reading skills, and that propelled me to do very well in my grade 7 exams. I managed to be among the best, and I made it into one of the best Catholic schools in the nation. Being there as well, I wouldn't say the credit goes to the school on its own, but the credit comes back to the institution, comes back to Mama, because everything that we learned there still was in English, and it's something that I learned through the resource center that was opened by Mama here at Northgate Academy. And so I think that it also contributed to the best results. I think that the results I got were the best I could ever get, and it's all thanks to Mama, it's all thanks to the teachers, it's all thanks to the care that comes from those hearts that are loving. I'm currently waiting to go to university, and I promise to make Mama proud, because they built a solid foundation. They provided a platform for me to be able to begin to walk on this road of impact, and I will surely bring that impact because of that.
This is just a little way of us saying that we are grateful for the things that you have done. As we move on as a foundation, we are looking to greater things in the future, and we hope that this friendship continues to be strong, so that together we can join hands and impact the lives of the children, especially those who are vulnerable. That is our focus. So congratulations for many other things that you have done, and we thank you so much for the friendship. We are wishing you the best in your endeavors as you endeavor to touch many lives in the world. We wish you the best and pray that the blessings of God will be upon you. We'll meet again.